For decades, Ben Shephard has been one of Britain's most respected television figures, a familiar face on morning screens, and a name synonymous with kindness, professionalism, and charm. From Good Morning Britain to Tipping Point, Ben's career has been defined by warmth and connection. He's the man who makes everyone feel at ease, whether he's interviewing a celebrity or comforting a guest through emotional moments. But behind that familiar smile, the one millions have come to trust, Ben was quietly facing a deeply personal and life-altering struggle. Away from the bright lights and laughter of the studio, a storm was brewing that would test not only his resilience, but also the unbreakable bond he shares with his wife, Annie Shephard. To the public, Ben has always seemed steady and grounded, the man who could balance family life, television fame, and the pressures of a demanding career without faltering, which is why this revelation about his private health battle has taken so many by surprise. Those close to him say that for months, even years, he carried the burden in silence. Few knew the full story. Ben's decision to keep his illness private wasn't about fear. It was about protection, for his family, for his peace of mind, and for the sense of normalcy that fame so often threatens to steal. He wanted to live on his own terms, continue his work, and not let speculation overshadow the life he and Annie had built together. But over time, the silence became heavier. Colleagues began to notice subtle changes: fatigue after long days of filming, a rare quietness in someone who usually radiated warmth. Friends spoke of how he became more reflective, more present, almost as if every day carried deeper meaning. And now, as Ben finally opens up about what he's been through, all those moments make heartbreaking sense. At the very heart of this story stands Annie Shephard, Ben's partner of over 2 decades. Those who know them best describe Annie as his anchor, calm, compassionate, and quietly strong. While the public saw her attending red carpet events or sharing sweet moments at charity functions, few realized the immense weight she carried behind closed doors. Annie was there for every sleepless night, every uncertain doctor's visit, every moment when the future felt frighteningly unclear. And through it all, she never faltered. Her love became Ben's greatest source of courage. Her calmness gave him the strength to fight, even when exhaustion took its toll. Sources close to the couple say Annie's determination kept their family grounded. She made sure their 2 sons, Jack and Sam, felt secure, even during the most difficult days. She shielded Ben from unnecessary stress, quietly handling responsibilities that once fell on his shoulders. Many nights she sat beside him, holding his hand when words fell short. Ben has always been admired for his warmth, but those who've seen him through this journey say he's been profoundly changed by it. In private conversations, he's spoken of how the experience reshaped his priorities. Fame, success, and career all suddenly felt secondary to one simple truth: love and health are everything. Now, as Ben Shephard begins to share his story publicly, he does so not for sympathy, but for purpose. He wants to remind others, especially men of his generation, that strength isn't about silence, that asking for help, being open, and leaning on those you love are not signs of weakness, but of courage. In interviews, Ben has often praised Annie, but in this new chapter, his admiration runs even deeper. He describes her as his protector, his healer, and the quiet force that refused to let him give up. Annie's loyalty and grace have turned what could have been a story of despair into one of hope and gratitude. Their marriage, already admired for its warmth and authenticity, has become an example of what true partnership looks like. 2 people walking through life's darkest valleys, hand in hand, refusing to let go. For their generation, and especially for the millions who have watched Ben grow from a fresh-faced presenter into a beloved national figure, This revelation serves as both a wake-up call and an inspiration. It's a reminder that even the brightest smiles can hide the deepest battles, and that love, when tested, can become even stronger. Ben's openness about his experience has been met with an outpouring of support from fans and colleagues alike. Messages of admiration flood social media, not for the celebrity, but for the man who dared to show his humanity. In a world obsessed with appearances, Ben's vulnerability is a breath of honesty that resonates deeply with viewers, especially those in their later years who understand the fragility of life all too well. As Ben looks to the future, he's focusing on what truly matters: his health, his family, and the gift of time. He continues to appear on screen, but now there's something different in his presence, a quiet wisdom that only comes from walking through fire and emerging stronger on the other side. Ben Shephard's story isn't one of fame or tragedy, it's a love story about devotion, resilience, and the quiet heroism of a woman who refused to give up on her husband. Annie Shephard's strength reminds us that behind every great man, there's often an even greater woman, one whose love carries him through life's darkest days. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe for more heartfelt updates on your favorite public figures, and let us know in the comments, what do you think of Annie's unwavering love and Ben's incredible courage in the face of adversity?